Welcome back to the second half of Hacking Infinity Meatybones Magical Girl Edition.
Hello, welcome
Alright,
back. Everything's fine and good, and no one's in danger.
yeah, yeah, it'll be great.
The absolute silence is reassuring.
The, no,
I mean, I
Yeah.
thought of it as like mild peril rather than danger.
Sure.
and I've never gotten to pet a T-Rex before. I'm sure it'll be nice.
Yeah. Well, it could be also like a butterfly body with a T-Rex head. Who knows?
Oh,
It's
okay.
these creatures are strange, but you will sure interact with something soon in an initiative-based sequence. Um, so we have Mitsuha and Bianca and Clarabelle heading out from the shelter kitchens to the backyard to try to find supplies to redo the the salad
Yeah,
burger that got messed up. So that's
fresh salad components. I'm sure it'll uh, make the rabbit food all that bit better.
exactly a natural grown ingredients. So as you step out of those back doors, it stretches for a couple of acres, and there's like forested sides, and there's like a bunch of animals running around, and there's some other helpers like you can see off in the distance. Um, and there's you kind of look down, and there's like a single twitching antenna next to where the window was. Um, and every once in a while there's like a light rumbling, or there's like a little light that flickers and floats by. Um, but it seems safe enough. I mean, how dangerous could a volunteer shelter be? I mean, they have precautions, right?
Of course.
Right? Um, okay, so
Yeah, I mean, right when we entered and signed paperwork, they made it clear that everything would be fine.
yep, you're
And
14. You definitely saw that was the
yeah,
case.
and also, yeah, we're 14ish, so obviously we're immortal.
Yeah. Wait, I'm sorry. This isn't from Tales from the Loop. Ugh, wrong game. Um, but you're in an anime, so you probably won't have anyone die until the second season mid break. Uh, so yeah. What do you guys? What do you do? What do you have? An idea of what plants to use, but I think I remember you guys not really doing well on. Oh
On
wait, no. What
recipes.
if you got a natural 20? So Mitsuha,
I do, in fact, know which
you
ones.
know which
So I
plants.
guess I guess when we step out and like I sort of like survey the area, and she's already been quite apprehensive about the whole being eaten thing. So I think when she gets out, she's probably going to transform off the bat. Um,
Sure.
you know, which is a difficult bridge because I'm not like 100% on my transformation.
Right. You're still in school. Um,
Sure, I guess yeah, it's still like in development.
yeah.
We're in beta. The transformation scene's still in beta.
Yeah.
But I imagine it's quite I mean, for me, like my first magical girl sequence was Sailor Moon, so I imagine it's like a gothy Sailor Moon style transformation.
Yeah.
Not in terms of the outfit. The outfit isn't Sailor Moony, but
Sure.
just the sequence itself is.
Hmm.
I'd say, and then the outfit's probably like a magical girl style shrine maiden outfit, so sort of like the geese style top with like the skirt, but it's black.
Yeah.
And I like,
And when it's not black, it's dark gray.
yeah.
Um,
And yeah, and I maybe like float a bit, and like my hair's like flowing in a ethereal mist. Ugh.
sure. And I think I'm gonna go on the anime rule of during this transformation, like you being lifted by light, everyone just sort of like, it's agreed that they just wait. They wait until your transformation's done. So like that 30 seconds, Clarabelle's like, yeah, I haven't seen her change yet. This is exciting. There's a lot more black viscous oil than I was expecting, but it's nice. It works.
You know I like black viscous fluid.
I was imagining like the like floating, you know, when water is in space, like that weird rippling it does, like instead of like it's got like beams of light through that as well, so sort of like imagine if you will a dark prism. Yeah. Yeah, she's like, should we change as well? I mean, I, it's just a yard, right? You guys said it was safe. And I'm pretty good with plants. I don't know about animals so much.
Yeah, I think it'll be fine. I think
Okay,
she's
well,
just showing off.
I'm going to have to put a pound in the swear jar, but you two saw the fucking T-Rex, right?
Oh, I think she like pulls out a little jar, puts it back behind her where cartoon stuff goes, and she's like,
well, I mean,
yeah, well,
I mean, it was horrible that the big lizard ate the butterfly, and you know, if we catch up to it, we'll
yeah.
maybe we'll tell it not to do that anymore.
I mean, I wouldn't know. I don't know about that. It is a circle of life, you know. Like all creatures have to consume other creatures, even if it's just like a fern devouring a sun spirit.
Well, I just mean I'd very much like to not be food. You know, with the makers of food, not the food itself.
Huh. Well, I guess that makes sense too. All right. Well,
Oh,
I mean,
Mitsuha, don't be a downer. It'll be fine.
so Clarabelle's not sure whether she should transform. And she's like, well, you both have valid opinions. I see the merit in both sides. I don't know, perhaps some sort of persuasion roll from both of you will convince me to change or not.
Okay. I mean,
Or a conversation.
yeah. So, I don't know. I mean, if
Oh, shit.
okay.
The dice
I
have been dropped.
I don't actually feel strongly about it one way or the other. One way or the, yeah. But, sure. Sure, yeah.
Yeah, I think that shows. Yeah, it's like, yeah. So Clarabelle's like, well, you know what Mama always said? Better safe than saccharine. And she does her transformation, and it's like animal spirits jumping around her, and like vines growing up around her, and then like bursting into leaves. And then when she comes down, she's like dressed in the little shorts with the suspenders still, but her shirt is like all like she got like big leaf shoulders and like little wings on the back, and she's got shoes that are leaves with vines that go up her legs.
So much drama.
Well, you don't have to change. You're beautiful just the way you are, just as the elder gods made you.
As the elder gods. I'm about to say I know, but it's like thanks.
All right. Well, like I said, I'm not too good with plants. I'm not too good with animals. Honestly, I'm not really the best at. That's why they sent me here to this school. I wasn't learning right in my former classes. Kept getting distracted by stuff, which you've seen twice now, or yeah, twice. Yeah.
You just need more confidence.
Oh well, That's sweet of you. I do try. Well, what should we do? She looks at both of you because she's an NPC.
So I'm like, well, I'm pretty sure I remember which plants we needed. I'll get a spirit to guide us to them, and yes, hopefully we won't get eaten. So yeah, I guess I'll summon like a spirit of the garden to be like, hi there, friend. Where's I'm looking for this and this and this. Give them like a shopping list, I guess.
Sure. Why don't you roll for it?
Am I rolling a particular thing or?
I think it's your. Let me go over the note. Your magical power is summoning spirits. So what does that look like when you do? Like you don't have to roll for it, but just paint me a word picture in my mind.
Well, I guess she kind of like she sort of gets like a very focused look, and then says some like very long, drawn out like like spirit of the garden, surrounding wisps and ents, and just whatever this long thing. I summon you now, and then like slaps her hands together, and then like sort of like out of whatever it is. So I guess in this case, like various parts, like energies from around the garden would like sort of swirl together and converge into like spirit of the garden, and then we.
So since you're trying to do a spirit of the garden, will like the spirits coalesce and then it like goes in the ground and like a blossom grows.
Nice.
Very, very dramatically, yeah, and and it looks like a little just like a little leaf person with a big flower on their back. I'm like, hello, new master. How may I help you?
Oh, hi there. You can call me Mitza. You don't have to call me Master. But we're just looking for some plants to feed some of the animals.
I love plants.
Oh, great. We need some blooming threshers, some eldritch celery, and what was the third one? And some creeping carrots.
Okay.
Do they all call you master? That's kind of like by default. That's kind of skeevy.
Tradition.
Sorry, skeevy? I'm not being offended. I genuinely don't know the meaning of the word.
Oh. Like gross, pervy, wrong.
Oh, I mean, I am, I don't make them call me master, but I am the master of spirits, Bianca. It's who I am.
Okay, I guess it's just one. Some schools are just like that. It's okay.
I mean, are you not the master of glitter?
I'm pretty good at it.
And it'd probably be more skeevy if they called me mistress.
Maybe. I don't know.
And I think Clarabelle is just entranced with this time. Like, you have the conversation, and she's just like big heart eyes going next to the little plant girl. Like, I have to know how you did that. This is the most cutest little tiny little adorable thing I've ever seen in my whole life. Oh my God, it's so cute.
No, it just. Spirit, this is my friend Clarabelle, and this is my other friend Bianca. They're going to help us find the plants together, okay?
Okay. Well, I found not too far away from here all the... Sorry, it's this little tiny accent. The things nearby that you need. I have to say, I want you to stay safe. So...
Oh, we'll be fine.
Okay. And she like kind of floats off and flushes off. She's like, follow me. And so she leads you off into the garden, and you find blooming threshers. And do you have an idea of what they look like, or shall I?
No, maybe.
I'm seeing like something big and blue and flowery with thorns that move.
Yeah, that's
and...
I was picturing like a giant blossom, but like those waxy tropical leaves, like a giant hibiscus. Um, yeah, and she's like, I have to say, you have to be careful while picking it. You can only make sure to pick the blossom and none of the leaves, or else the vines will come out. Do be careful. And she just like floats back.
Clarabelle, would you like to do the honors, or should I?
Well, I guess I could assist. I mean,
okay. Yeah, while they're talking, I'm gonna try and take it.
yeah. Give me a roll.
All right.
Yeah, they're like it's like the no. After you're just like, well, I suppose I could, but if you want to, it's like no. Yeah.
For good or ill.
Yeah, I imagine you picked up like gardening scissors or something. Just like. Yeah, so just give me a quick little D20 roll.
Okay. Just, yeah, just thing.
Excellent. Perfect. Yeah, you get a massive like blue thorny blossom, and it's maybe the petals look like a cat's tongue, where they have like those thorns that like grow out on top of the petals. Yeah, because that's gross and weird.
See, unnecessary drama.
Yeah, and you're carrying it, and it is like big, so you'll be unable to pick the next thing.
Oh, okay.
Because it's so big, unless you hand it to Clarabelle, in which case she will carry it, and then you two can. But that would be up to you. And then so the little fairy picks up and she's like, okay, now for the Eldritch Celery, I don't know if you have any large axes, but that would be very handy for acquiring it. And Clarabelle like looks at you and just like, I got this, and she like grabs something midair and like slams it down, and this like from her hand a staff grows, but it made the sound before it grew, like it was invisible. And it's got like a giant pearl, like this big, like a mirrored disc on one side that's slowly spinning in the crook of the staff. It's like, I don't know, man.
That doesn't look very sharp.
I could hit it a bunch.
We could find a tool shed, maybe, or yeah, I'm not sure. They
Well, gosh, I don't know. Maybe your fairy friend could help, or we could. There might be some volunteer employees around here that could give us a hand. We are just volunteers after all.
Yeah. Is there maybe another plant that has sharp leaves nearby that we could use to cut the other plant?
Probably.
Spirit, is there a tool shed or anything nearby, Spirit?
Well, Spirit's like, well, I don't know about man-made things. I'm a spirit of the garden, but if you want a sharp plant, I could lead you to. Oh, I know, a rife vine. That could help you. And if you want to make nature checks, maybe you guys know what that is.
Sure. Oh, nope.
You did make the roll, though. Oh.
Yeah.
I was due for one. I was overdue for one. We've had some 20s today. This is fair. I deserve this.
Whatever's coming.
Yep.
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
I'm sure the rate's fine. It's fine.
You both have all of you have a very different idea of what this thing is, and yeah,
None of us is right.
none of you are right. It's a 2, a 1, and a 2. Yeah. So the fairy leads you off once again into the depths of this garden, and as you're walking along,
Oh, and sorry. I guess I
yeah.
do carry the blossom, although my first again my first impulse is to just hand it off
to one of your lackeys.
Yes.
I think like a couple times you're like here, and they're like, wait, no, I can't. I have to be better. I have
Yeah.
to be a better person. Yeah. So whatever you think this was, when she leads you to, or when they lead you to a large tree, sort of covered in these massive, dark, waxy leaves. That wasn't what you were thinking. And you're all a bit like, I thought this. And Clarabelle like kind of shrugs, like, I told you I wasn't good at plants. And the fairy's like, yes, you can use, if you grab a bit of this vine, you can use one of these petals as an axe head. But do be careful, they are very sharp. So I think everyone has to make a roll to see how well they get an axe, because why not? Or you can pick. I don't know. There's a lot of rolls happening.
Well, I'm already carrying something.
You're carrying the flower.
Yeah.
So
let somebody else.
Yeah. I think. How do you do this? You tell me how you succeed. You succeed greatly. Like it's 5 over. So.
I guess I like maybe I've got like the sort of spirit of like the whole garden, and I maybe like sort of like fine tuning to just like the spirit of that particular plant, and then I maybe just get it to have one of the leaves like drop off of its own accord, like through talking to its spirit. I'm like, spirit of this plant, could I please have just one of your leaves?
And like, yeah, all right, that's cool. And like one of the vines like unwraps, and then like goes out like an axe head with a spade head, and then just like you see it like wither at one point, and then just crack off and land on the ground, and now you have a rife vine axe. Hooray! Yeah, and then you carry on to the eldritch celery. And what it looks like as you're walking up to it is like a bamboo forest where the bamboo is growing in clumps instead of just single stalks. Yeah, and I think you managed to collect your eldritch celery, and instead of the thin leaves, they kind of like curl a bit, and they have spots in the center. Yeah, and you have eldritch celery, but it's like a big bundle of like. They're long. You have to carry a bunch like that. So, yeah, I guess that leaves the creeping carrots. Would either of you like to attempt to get the creeping carrots out? Or
well, I'd actually maybe like, is there an opportunity to like subtly talk to Bianca while we're sort of en route to the next one?
Oh, absolutely.
Cool. So like as we're sort of going, I sort of like whisper to Bianca. I'm like, look, Bianca, I got one of the parts, you got one of the parts. I think it'd be good for Carabelle's confidence if, she gets the last one, and then we each, we each help just as much as the rest.
Sure. That sounds good.
But at the same time, we need to try and make sure that she doesn't fail, because it might be slightly crushing for her.
She's very bad at planes.
Yeah, don't worry. I know just what to do.
Ah, perfect.
All right, and I think Clarabelle is sort of just like chatting with this little like garden spirit, and you come to what looks like a fenced off area in the back garden. She's like, but the plants aren't lined up; they're sort of like in disarray. And she's like, "Well, this is where the creeping carrots are. I I can't pin down their exact location because of their very nature, but I think well, here's what they look like. And she like from her head sprouts like a carrot top with like all the thin fronds. She's like, so if you look for that, that should be enough. And then you just gotta catch them. Yeah.
So, Clarabelle, I think you should just take a moment to, take a deep breath and center yourself, and just feel the carrots. I have confidence in you. I think you can do this no problem. And,
All right. Well,
if there is any problem, we'll be right there to help.
I guess that is what friends are for. And all right, well, I'll give it my darndest. And well, here goes nothing, I suppose.
Okay. So I am attempting to help by
Sure. Sure.
essentially with honeyed words. Like,
yeah. Well, she has advantage because it's plants.
already. Okay.
Yeah, but I will take that into consideration with your honeyed words, being a big sweetie. And
Sometimes.
sometimes, when you remember, when you try really hard and focus. Yeah. All right, here we go. 19. So, technically +2 because it's her proficiency thing. So she got over. She got 10 over. So that's great. So what happens? I mean, I can't have you leave the garden without rolling initiative. So what happens is she focuses. She stands at the edge of the opens the gate and stands at the edge of the garden, puts her staff in the ground, focuses, and you can see even though there's no wind, the leaves on her outfit ruffle a bit, and the pearl mirror spins in her staff, and there's this trembling, and a couple of little carrots pop up, and then there's this huge rumble, and then a giant carrot top pops up that's 8 feet tall, and then she's like, oh gosh, guys, I think I did it. Oh no. And she's like, I think and she sneezes, and the carrot pops out of the ground, and it flies up in the air and does the Team Rocket sparkle, and then lands down on its side, and she's like, oh gosh, oh goodness, I don't think we quite need this much carrot.
But that was amazing.
Oh gosh, I really felt like I connected with these particular plants. Maybe I could work a little harder on doing the edible things. And as she's sort of talking, her back's to the garden because she's so excited, you see the carrot begin to rock back and forth a little bit, and a bulge begin to form on one side, and then an orange clawed arm slam into the ground from out of one side, and then another one, and then several more pop out of each side. And into the ground. She's just jabbering away.
And that is.
And the spirit's sort of floating behind you. I'm just gonna go over here. I don't think what do you guys do? You have a moment.
Yeah. Now I know that you're excited to be out of the ground, but giant carrot,
What?
I need you to not.
I wasn't in the ground. What are you talking about? What? And she turns around. She's like, I've been by your side this whole time. She turns around, and she's just like, and since she is a Southern Belle.
You're not
You
telling
see
me
her
she
go,
fucking faints.
oh no!
Oh no! Well, that's disappointing.
And she falls into a soft bunch of leaves next to the garden. That's her surprise round action. So you were saying something to the carrot folk?
Yes. Uh, I know you're excited to not to be out of the ground, but I'm really gonna need you to not be creepy like that.
And
It's
then
not okay.
its fronds like curl in on itself and begin to like no, it does its fronds like flare out a bit like a peacock, and it turns around and you see the point of its mouth like open up like a worm's mouth to like the size of your head, and those like spinning teeth inside.
Okay, that's just way too icky.
um, Mitsuha, what are you doing?
Gee, well, I guess, I mean, I'm getting ready to punch this thing out, basically. I'm I'm gonna summon a gypsy fighting spirit,
Okay.
um, and then I'll probably after that be. I mean, in terms of like action economy, is like summoning a spirit. Is that like my
That's
whole
like
action?
a thing you do. Like
Mhm.
you summon it, it appears before you, you're like, let's get ready to fight, and then like the screen goes blurry, and then
Mhm.
you're all in a line.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's Final
Cool. Yeah,
Fantasy.
that's my surprise action. Then I'll summon a gypsy fighting spirit.
All right, fantastic.
Okay. Uh, and yeah, I think it's probably time to do that transformation sequence.
Sure.
So
But you spent your action trying to talk it down.
yes. Okay.
But you never made a roll on it, so you
No.
can do your transformation sequence.
Yeah, I mean, I wasn't
Yeah,
expecting to
that's
be able to
nice.
talk it down. That's why I
Yeah,
wasn't calling for a roll.
that
Or
that
wasn't
was the
asking for a
narrative
roll.
thing. That
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah. Okay. What does your transformation sequence look like?
Um. So it definitely starts with the whatever the background is. In this case, it's like the garden,
Yeah.
kind of being flashing to just like this uh, uh, pink with rainbow uh, uh, with sort of rainbow like animations within it,
Mhm.
um, and I just kind of lift up in the air and it's not quite clear whether I'm spinning or the background is spinning,
Mhm.
um, and this is the part where uh, uh, if this was like an animated series, they'd
Mhm.
put the warning about
The flashing lights.
yeah
Yeah.
yeah epileptic seizures. Yeah, it's slightly seizure inducing and the rainbows like partway through turn into hearts, and uh, there's like the costume change to uh, I don't know. I guess hadn't talked about this before. Uh, I think like there's just way more ruffles. Like
Mhm.
it doesn't look like the sort of outfit one would fight in, but it works just fine. Don't worry, it's okay.
Mhm.
Uh, and she gets like this shining tiara. Um, and
Yeah, that like sparkles out like a shine and like forms on your hair.
yeah,
Yeah.
totally.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Um, and definitely like big puffy like sleeve shoulder things.
Uh-huh.
Um,
Classic.
yeah, and oh, and of course like a huge bow on the back.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. A huge bow. There's like extra stashes in places. Um.
Yeah.
Yeah. Excellent.
And then despite all this fluffiness, there's like this very mild, like, um, like military cut to like the like sort of
Sure,
the
like your
sides of the
shirt, it
vest
has
thing.
puffy
Yeah.
sleeves, but yeah, it has like the double buttons. Maybe something like that.
Yeah. Totally.
Yeah. Excellent. And I guess well now
That
we're gonna
that
roll
that
initiative.
cute military.
Yeah. the normal military, the Munchkin Army.
Yes.
Hmm. Like the Lollipop Guild. Hmm.
Okay. So we
All right.
are rolling initiative.
Initiative. Oh shit, son! Got them rolls. All right, and I'm gonna. Oh, nice. That was for the carrot monster, and this is for. Oh, I'm gonna roll that
She's
second
still
one
passed
again.
out.
Okay, slightly better. Yeah, she has passed out, and she will remain so unless something awakens her. So, I wish. So we have.
Oh, whoops! I didn't mean to actually roll that. I meant to like open it up and look at it.
Okay. And then it was a 12. And then it was a 5. And then it was a 4.
I really hate to waste that unnatural 20.
Well, we can use that for your roll. That can be your first attempt. So
Well, I don't know. I mean, it was accidental. If it had been terrible, I wouldn't want.
If it had been terrible, I'd kept it too.
Oh, okay, okay, fair enough then.
I'm a very fair person. As I said in my players lot, I give them everything they ask for. Yes, and then I get insulted with they call me evil and a demon, and why did you do this to my family? So, all right, we kick it off.
When you're GMing, that's a compliment.
Yeah. Brad, do you know how to change folks' names on things? Oh wait, hold on. I think I did it. Suha. Yeah. Did that? Oh, just like that. Okay.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, I didn't have to. Okay. Learning roll 20. And then it's Bianca, and then it's creeping.
You should be able to.
That's okay. I got it.
Okay.
And then.
Anyway, it's kind of odd that those came up as the.
Well, I control viewed, and I just added the only token on the board is
the background image.
Yeah. So that's why that happened. So Mitsuha, 20, 12. Mitsuha, what do you do?
Ultimate move, Spirit Fusion. I'm going to fuse with the Gypsy Fighting Spirit.
Okay.
How does that look, you ask? Well, I guess I take the spirit into me, and then kind of like the top layer of me, like my skin and my clothes, kind of shatters out in a sort of glass effect, and then I have white glowing hair, and then black ethereal skin, and I've got and it's different depending on what I fuse with, but then I have extra bits on me.
Sure.
Which in this case are sort of punchy bits and some clovers and various stuff like that. By the way, for people who don't get this is a Tyson Fury shout out. I'll fuse with my fighting spirit as my action.
As your action, fantastic.
As a bonus action, can I kick Clarabelle?
Yeah, as a bonus action, you can try to rouse her. Yeah, she's I think you go to kick her, and she grabs your foot, and her eyes open. She's like, "Oh no. Dear, what happened? What on heaven's earth happened? Oh no, we're in a battle." Oh dear. So that is her move. And while you're describing the shattering out, I kind of thought of a stained glass, but then I thought of Persona, the combining of creatures, you both disappear into light, and it's this stained glass image of you that explodes out into the real form of you,
Yes, that exactly.
Because a Gothic church would have the wrought iron. Yeah.
Yeah, correct on all fronts.
You're like, yes. But, all right. That is your move. Sorry, that is your action, your bonus action. Do you want to move?
Yeah, I'll get like up in his business. No,
Yeah.
just like I do like the anime style like 0 to 100 where like they just go from standing to like I just chat it and like the wind blows and
yeah, and you're like standing in front of like the circular mouth with the gnashing teeth.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. Bianca.
So I'll
You're doing cute animal transformation
for sure.
on the carrot thing.
So
Or
yeah, no, that is totally what I'm doing.
yeah,
What it
like Mitsuha like jumps forward and suddenly she like shrinks down into a cute chibi version of herself.
Good luck.
Pancho.
Betrayed at the first opportunity.
Sudden but inevitable betrayal.
So I make this big gesture where I lift my arm, and as I do, sparkles form around my hand, and then I start to lower it in sort of in this sort of gesture, leaving behind this line of light. And then when it gets to like a proper like wand length, I like make this tiny move and it spins it and it sort of folds out another star on the end.
That's cool.
And then I just pointed at the carrot monster thing and say, "Sparkle, glitter, zenith."
All right. Fantastic. I love it. It's great. You got a 20. So Mitsuha, as you approach this like massive like 15 feet carrot, like 7 feet tall at the back end, just this massive plumage of carrot, you hear that shout behind you, and I think you've probably heard about it. You've lived together for a little bit, maybe you've seen it in a couple of duels, and just at the last second you just like dodge out of the way as this bolt of glitter explosion goes past you. You kind of close your eyes, and as you open them, there is a squatter version with like, instead of a circular mouth, it's got like a Mew mouth and like big anime eyes, and the plumage on the back is like extra, like it's got like blues and greens and purples in it now, and it's like multiple arms are just like little tiny like tardigrade bear arms. And it's now like, it's much smaller. It's still like person size, but it's like it sort of like rolls its body a bit and looks at you, and then it goes Mah! And it still has like the circle mouth when it opens it, but it's got like little round nubbins teeth. Yeah, so that's what you do for your action.
Yeah, it might still bite, but it won't hurt as much.
Yeah, I think it like tries to like go and then Clarabelle, you hear her just go and she's like, oh my God, that's her bonus action. And then for her action, she says, what would her thing be? She sort of steps forward and like brushes off her things and like snaps her suspenders and like puts her staff down. She's like, may the warmth embrace of the earth comfort you in your time of need. And you just see like fingers of earth like
Perfect.
reach up, and she's gonna this is the wrong spell to use against a creature that burrows in the earth for its life. But I have to write Clarabelle's thing. It was what did I say? May the warmth of the earth
Comfort you in your time of need.
Uh,
The warm embrace of the earth?
warm embrace of the earth. Yeah. May the warmth of the earth. Yeah. That way it's yeah. Yeah, and as she like casts this thing up, you see the carrot start to like stomp its feet and then like stomp them even faster, and then it starts to spin, and as like the tendrils come towards it, its little mouth just goes yum 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 yum, and like and then there's this like scattering of dirt, and it just stands there like chewing and like swallows, and then like its belly kind of gets a little bigger because it's in chibi mode and it just ate a bunch, and then goes burp. Then it's the creeping carrot's turn. So it's going to try to, I guess as its action, consume you whole, Mitsuha. So, well, at least try to bite down on you. But it's got, I will say, not disadvantage, but the effect will be different if it succeeds. As it lunges forward, it toddling on its little tardigrade legs for you. It managed to clamp down on your leg, and it now has you pinned. But it's sort of just like a cat that's just sort of like nah, 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 nah. And it's like the not even the drool, the like carrot juice is starting to spread up your leg, and you try to shake it off, and you can't move. And as its move action, I think it's going to try to pull you into the earth. At least a little bit. You can make a strength check to oppose it. And we'll just go on who is the better roll.
Am I better at strength checks due to being fused with my fighting spirit?
Absolutely you are.
Okay, great. How does that work mechanically? Do either of us know?
Advantage!
Okay, great.
It's a very simple system. A 19,
19.
pick out a 20!
Well played, Carrot. Well played.
Yeah. So, like, you get the stand version of, like, you surely gets it in, like, the gypsy form, like, powering you up. And then, like, the carrot like spins a bit, and you're like, yeah, I got the whoa, and like you drop down and start being pulled into this hole. You're about halfway in because it only got a half success. So what would you like to do? Like, it's butt sticking out, but it's like faces the ground. It's like this weird U shape of like being covered in dirt.
Gee, well, I mean, I feel super bad because it's so like adorable now.
Yeah.
But, you know, I was just going to not fuck with it because it's so cute now. But then it tried to eat me. So, and, you know, that was the first thing I asked is do we get eaten? So,
and you are grappled, by the way. That was their...
Okay.
So
if can I do like a being ungrappled roll and then... or can I like just double down on the grapple and be like, okay, we're rolling now. And then just...
Sure.
Like, it's trying to eat me from one end. And then can I start trying to eat it from the other end? And it's like, come on, we're racing. Let's go.
Yeah, it's the Ouroboros, but it's absolutely. Give me a Constitution roll to see how well you can eat this thing. That you can eat this.
I should have skipped the milkshake before I came.
That's the thing. You're all full of milkshakes, and maybe you stop for like a big pretzel. And you bite down on it, you're like, oh, raw carrot, and it's all like,
But it thinks you're delicious.
I mean, we like raw carrot. It helps our eyesight. Okay.
Yeah, it does. And I did think about that, like as you said, you're gonna eat it. I'm like, what that effect is that? So you're trying to chomp down on it, but it's still massive. So you're not like neither of you are really like doing much damage. You're sort of like gnawing on each other. Bianca, what would you like to do? As you see them like sort of like half buried now, tumbling in they're trying to eat each other.
Uh, I think I just wave my wand a bit some more and
You've already cutified it.
Yeah, yeah.
At your max cute.
But I don't know. I think that
Yeah.
smaller and with less like less limbs would be cuter.
Okay.
That is what I think.
All right. All right. So you cast your attack again. Why don't you give me that roll? Oh.
Would theoretically be cuter, but
So with failures on magical rolls.
oh yes.
So I think what happens is you're like less limbs, less limbs, less limbs, and it's the State Plus Marshmallow Man. Like the image at the last second pops into your head of it just being covered in arms.
Oh no.
And they're still cute, adorable tardigrade arms. But just
That's
like
way
they
too
begin
many of them.
popping out, and like one like punches Mitsuha in the face as they go to bite down. You're like, "Bleh." And then you like bite down on the arm. You're like, "Arr." But now it's encircled in arms.
Oh, ew.
Yeah. And Clarabelle's like, well, gosh, I don't know how that could help us, but I'm sure you had a plan. She's so optimistic, baby. She said, well, doesn't seem to like, or maybe I could, I don't know if I'm, maybe I just, and she just like walks up and just like hits it with her staff. She's like, I don't know. To try to give you advantage on your next round to being free, to like sort of like to stun it or something. Oh no, when she does it, like some of the arms like grab at her staff, so she's like wrestling it away, and she like pulls it off and like tries to hit it again, and it's just not working out for her. She's just not having a good time. And I think the creeping carrot is going to try to grapple her as well. To lift it up, like roll and lift it up in all of its many arms. It doesn't succeed. Okay, she's free. Mitsuha, what do you do? As
I guess
you have a feast before you.
Sure, seeing the eating it plan, not going too well. So if I...
It's growing arms faster than you could eat them.
Sure, so if I try and get free, will that be like my whole go?
I could say you could use your move to get free.
Okay,
and your
cool.
bonus action, so you could still have your action left.
Sure, and I am going to roll with advantage because of fighting, because it's grappling.
Yes, because of the fighting. It's the grappling fighting specifically. 13. You managed to succeed. You get free. You kick your way out. And you're on your feet.
Cool. I guess I'm gonna try and Shoryuken it, so that it like flies up into the air and disappears, Team Rocket style.
Okay. And you're gonna make a big punch move.
No, we do not Shoryuken it successfully.
Mm-hmm. I think you go to punch it, and it's like you go to punch a pot, and like an arm comes by and blocks it, and it's like you like a fury of bliss, and like the arms are like blocking every move that you do. Yeah, exactly. There's anime blurs, and like it zooms in on your face, it's got a sweat drop, and it zooms in on its face, and it's got a sweat drop, and suddenly it's wearing a bandana. Yeah, you don't manage to.
Awesome.
Gosh, I didn't think I knew enough anime tropes, but it turns out I know a lot. All right, Bianca, what are you doing? Mitsuha is having this fist-off battle. No, not this battle. With this creeping carrot, and Clarabelle's like trying to bop it, but it keeps like this is a vicious creature.
I don't know. I'm still imagining the big face sweat drop thing on a carrot. It's kind of awesome.
Of course, it's a light orange color for carrot juice. Obviously.
Of course. So I'm going to pull like a random cosmetic bottle out of my bag.
Your makeup kit, your
Yes.
emergency makeup kit.
And I'll take a step forward and kind of like concealing the label and say, "Okay, you've had your fun being all icky and fighty, but it's time to settle down, or I'll have to use defoliant on you." And I'm gonna try and deceive it into maybe settling down.
Okay. All right. Yeah. It sees you like approaching it with the bottle, and it like goes, "Rah!" And it like starts to scurry back on its legs, and it stops fighting them, and it is frightened for the next round. So, it's either going to. I think you all would have advantage on it if it doesn't try to flee. I think Clarabelle says, "What'd she do?" I think she tries the move again, but instead of the earth like coming up around it, it begins to like break away underneath it like a pit. The whole may the warmth of the earth comfort you in your time of need. And yeah, it begins, and like the carrot like begins to sink down into the earth, and like until only like a couple of stubby legs and its weird mouth is out. And on a 1, it runs away. On a 2, it stays and fights. Yeah, it's diving out. It's like the earth is swallowing it up, so it like just burrows its little chibi body in, and the last you see is a plumage of chibi feathers like disappear into the earth as it settles over calmly again.
Okay. But we have other like non-fighting creepy carrots, right?
Yeah, other little
big
ones.
Success.
Yeah.
Earlier. Okay.
Yeah.
Quite well.
And you did it. Congratulations.
Woohoo!
Did the fight of the game. Yeah. And Clarabelle just like stands and is like, "Oh gosh, I don't know what came over me. I got the vapors and I couldn't help myself. I hope I didn't miss too much."
No, it's okay.
Gosh, did you see how many arms that thing had? I didn't know I had that many arms. I mean, I know I'm not so good with flora, but gosh.
That was just wrong.
So like, I guess Mitsuha is still like sort of like punching the ground and stuff.
And as you punch it, like the little carrots are like jumping out, like stunned with the swirly eyes, like landing on the ground. She's like, "Oh, great! That's a great idea. We still gotta collect some of those carrots."
Yeah, she's like screaming like a drunken slag. She's got like, yeah, she's still in like fighting mode. She's like punching the air, being like, "You fucking bitch! I know what you said about me."
And she's like, "You're right. Pound in the dirt so it's nice and sturdy. So when they go to plant, that's a good idea too." And yeah, Clarabelle is just.
Yeah. Actually, Mitsuha, I think we've won. It's all right. You can settle down too.
I guess I kind of like turn around and it's like, the demon glare, and then
like your face is totally different.
You see like the sort of the ethereal essence like sort of like turn into like mist and sort of come off her, and then she's in like a regular her sort of normal form again, and she sort of like just like poof, like plumps down and is just sort of like breathing heavily and sort of sweating a bit, and it's like, it's time for sleeps. It's time for sleeps now, everyone. Okay, it's time for sleeps. Good work.
We should do that inside. Let's sleep. Well.
Well, we have those eldritch celeries. We can make a little like a skiff to carry her home.
That's a good idea. Let's try it.
So you two like bundle some together and like pull the body onto it and just like carry it, and World War II style.
Yeah, and sort of find some way to affix the
There's vines and plants around, and she knows enough about crafts and together. Oh, you know what it is? You don't need to bundle it because it's celery. It's a big scoop anyways. What was I even thinking? It's celery. Yeah, it's a big scoop, and you carry your friend back to the kitchen. So by the time you get back to the kitchen, the exhaustion has worn off. Um, and you awake. You're like leaning on one of the celeries, like there's a light fan on your face, as you have all of the ingredients.
And I imagine like somewhere in there we transformed back, but there wasn't like
Oh yeah, no, there was. It was
there was
just
no
by the
big deal
time you
made of
got
it. It
back.
just kind of happened.
Yeah, it's like you go off scene on one, and then you wake up, and everyone's back in their normal clothes. Yeah, absolutely. Perfect. Yeah. So, yeah, you have all the ingredients. You have the blooming threshers, the eldritch celery, and the creeping carrots to make this meal. And I think Clarabelle's like, I I think if we all work together on this, we may be able to get because honestly, I wouldn't really, I gotta be honest, good, you guys are my friends. I wasn't paying too much exact attention to the recipe when she was telling it to us first time.
I
And
might have
that's kind of why I
forgotten
got,
a couple of the details too.
yeah. Mitsuha?
Hmm? Sorry, I was thinking about punching that carrot still. Yes,
I'm
no,
gonna go back to that garden, punch that carrot.
Fine, go. Oh no, yes, I remember the recipe. It's the carrots are to be diced but not sliced. The celery is to be taken into long strips. The creeping is just to be made into kind of like a paste. And yeah, I just sort of recite it off
Sure.
to Clarabelle, and if I can assist her in any way, wink, wink, nudge, nudge.
Yeah. Oh,
be
absolutely.
great.
Yeah, I think she will have advantage on this roll. And because of all your hard work, I'm going to say that it.
Bam.
Boom, boom. Because of all your hard work, I'm just going to roll a 20. Bow.
Because of all your hard work, I'm just going to roll 20 for you.
It's the power of friendship.
Yeah, I think
the power of GM and roll 20.
Oh man, if I could force 20s, that'd be so good. Let me roll it again just in case.
GM shenanigans.
10. Okay, that's fine.
In case the other die was higher.
Yeah. Oh no, not what? No. Okay, there was another 20. I was like, yeah, wait, no. Yeah, I think there's a montage of like you all working together and like laughing, and like at one point like a mouse spirit like jumps in and steals a piece of carrot, and you just like ha 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 ha. And then Fumiha comes back and he's like, I've calmed down. Now let me see what you have produced. And it is just like the entire, like there's several dishes of like sparkling rainbow quality, like Battle Chef Brigade style, of this one dish, like all flawless, all like copy paste perfect. And she's like, oh my goodness. In all my years, I've never seen such a turnaround in somebody's talent. Perhaps this is the volunteer job for you after all. And he is very pleased with your work, and gives you and marks down in your reports that you all did very well.
Yay!
It's like, as a reward, I will allow you to go into the back garden to play with the animals. And there's that like anime screech. Yeah, and at that, like, yeah, I think that's the end of that particular volunteer event. Which animals do you two search out to play with in the backyard?
That is a hard question.
It can be a regular animal, or it could be a mystical creature. Yeah. I mean, I know one of you like cats and bunnies.
Mm-hmm.
So
And I imagine we have extra carrots,
yes, you
given
do.
the
You have
yeah.
extra vegetables. So I think that you want to do extra carrots to feed to all the bunnies.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So if the seed of you is like feeding like little carrots, and they hop over and they like nibble, and it's all cute. And what does Mitsuha do?
Um, I don't know. I mean, I think she would gravitate towards something.
Do you go try to punch the carrot again?
No, I mean, no. The Tiski's out of my bloodstream now, so I'm
Okay.
I'm fine.
You had another
No,
milkshake inside.
yeah. I don't know. I mean, I the first thing I thought of was like a Hydra, but that seems maybe like a bit too like wow. But if they got a Hydra, I'll totally like yeah. If there's like maybe a smaller Hydra, but a little
Yeah.
bit Hydra,
Yeah, yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah. So yeah. I'll just
Um,
Yeah.
it like bites
yeah.
my finger and I bleed a bit, but I'm just like oh you silly thing.
Yeah,
And then like fight, and
there's
they like snap the head off, and then like two more girl like yeah. So we all know that it's a hydra, not just like a two-headed.
Yeah. I've got like one biting like each of my fingers, and I'm just like oh.
So yeah, added to the taxonomy, there in addition to cryohydras and pyrohydras, there's microhydras.
Yeah. Absolutely, there are. Yeah, and I think Clarabelle, I think she spends time like the spirit like dissipated as you left, so she spends her time like looking for more spirits, and it's just she's loud. She's like, "Hey, y'all, you behind this bush? No, all right. Well, if you want to come out at any time, that'd be great. We
Can
can
I
maybe
just
have a
summon
conversation."
one for her?
Yeah, it's just, I'd love to be friends with y'all. I'm real nice, and I got these little snacks, fruit snacks. Yeah. It's like, but if not, that's okay too. Like, I understand your personal space and all that. Yeah, and it is just, oh, yeah, bless her heart. Yeah. Um, yeah, and that's your volunteer, and the time wraps up, and you're back out front once again. Um, and I think we have just enough time to do a books club scene, because I had completely forgot that we were going to do something else. That's fine. Yeah.
So on the way to the
on the way to
can I just get like a moment with Bianca?
yeah.
Sure.
Like Clarabelle like tucked away, and she has
Sure.
other stuff to do.
Cool. I'm like Bianca.
Mm-hmm.
You know how you used to be quite let's go with gossipy. You used to be quite gossipy.
If you want to put it that way, I know that I have history.
Sure. I mean, I don't. I mean, just to let you know, you're the Bianca stood in front of me now. I don't care. What I don't You remember, right?
I suppose.
So, when you were gossiping, did you perhaps happen to... Look, I'm going to be straight with you, Bianca. I need you to find out for me how gay that girl is, okay?
Oh.
I'm gonna make a GM roll.
She's adorable. I want her. She will be mine. Unless she's,
Well, can I just
Roll a
tell if
history
she
check?
was- I was just thinking insight.
Oh yeah, you can do insight too.
She, I think it'd either be clear that she's into you or not. So in succeeding, do I get to choose?
No.
Okay.
There were two things you could find out. One, because of your Ramil, that she doesn't date. Like she's not good at keeping a boo. Boo. like the BEAU version of
Bow.
it, like bow. That's it. I was like, that's not, none of those vowel sounds are right. So she whenever she does date, she doesn't date for long. And what you know is that she doesn't have a type. She dates anyone. Yeah, because I rolled a 6 on her relationships and a 10 on her gender spectrum. So, yeah. She's an equal opportunist dater. But for some
she
reason,
likes Sean Paul.
you'll have to find out. You'll have to ask. Yeah, she you don't know why they don't work out. She never seems to date for long. So, yeah.
It's because they weren't me.
I mean, necro goth girl and a peppy upbeat Southern belle. I mean, that's trope made in heaven.
I'm a sucker for the Southern charm. Like, it's so I just love it. It's so wonderful. Ugh.
Yeah. It's like I'm not like other girls, like where it's got the regular goth girl and then like the spray tanned, and then like people started shipping them, and there's all this like beautiful art of them being in a relationship, and I'm like, that's good.
So I think my reply is, well, I think that you may need to proceed a little bit slowly. She's still kind of working out where she's her relationship issues, but I think you can do it. I ship it.
Ah, thank you so much.
Oh.
She's going to be the second person I tattoo after you, Bianca.
Oh, you mean after Hell Freezes over?
Sure.
Every time your friendship grows, like another lava pit in hell just like cools. There's a lot of hells. It's fine. Don't worry about it. Yeah. Anything else you want to talk about on the way to changing or to book club? All right. So I guess you just get into your regular fancy outfit.
Yeah. I mean, I think right after. Oh, sorry. I think right after that, I think about asking about what was his name? Forever, maybe.
Wasn't it Corey or something?
Yeah, one of those.
Who?
The boy
Corey.
at the tattoo shop.
Yeah.
But I don't actually bring it up.
Okay. Yeah, where is that note? Oh, it's.
I mean, I kind of know what the reaction will be, and I don't want to
Corey.
admit it, but I'm thinking it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, as you mentioned tattoos, like you're like, and you're like your face goes black.
Yeah. Totally.
And I think Corey's in the door, like just sweeping. He's like, "Oh, hey, Mita."
Corey-san.
He's like, "Ah," and he like keeps sweeping.
Yeah, and for the first time, since the series started, I kind of lower my head.
Yeah, it's one of those like face blush trying to walk like.
Yeah.
Because I'm like oblivious to this, right?
Let me check my note. Well, yeah. So it doesn't say that you know. Bianca does have a crush on Corey. So.
Well, I guess it's up to you then, Brad. Do you think that I could have picked up, or do you think you've kept it quite your cards close to your chest?
Oh, totally. I keep the cards close. Sorry.
Cool. I don't. I'm still oblivious then.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah, like the camera sees me kind of shrink as you two exchange words, but.
Yeah, and you turn back, and she's like a couple steps ahead of you, and by the time you catch up, she's back to normal. Yeah. All right. So you head back. You change out of your dirty work clothes that are covered in I think the dirt, like there's like carrot juice in your stocking. You're like, I thought I transformed into. God dang it. Yeah, and you prepare to go to book club, and it's after another class, and it's after dinner, and when the school is quieting down, and there are night games, and there's the book club, and there's the secret underground fight club that everyone goes to that the teachers regulate. And you head to the library.
I do like.
Do you want to see before?
Yeah, well, not necessarily a full scene, but I do sneak away for a moment, or I actually say, I'll sort of, I'll see you later. We had a good time, and then I'm going to put on a mousy girl disguise.
Oh.
Yes. Using magic, so it's all there's like some sparkle glitters happening, but like low key.
Okay. So you are Sparkle Glitter Zenith is like your.
It is a specific attack. Yeah. It's not bad.
Yeah.
There's some pink glitter transformation happening.
Oh sure. You're keeping the fact that you're transforming a secret from your roommate. Okay.
If I can.
Yeah. So you should make a deception check to see how well your outfit goes.
Alrighty.
Yeah, it's exactly right. It's a mousy girl outfit. You can make yourself. It's good. Yeah. So like describe what you look like as a mousy girl, because I have an idea, but your idea may be different. So. So what does mousy Bianca look like?
So she's still cute, but cute rather than pretty. With like brown haircut in a bob, bangs, and just like the regular school uniform.
Okay.
And
glasses?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
Oh, for sure.
Of course.
Yeah.
Ridiculous question.
It goes without saying. I just assumed.
And what is her dress quirk? Like in an anime, if you're a character, you have to have a difference, like blue hair, or like you have a big bow, or you have like big glasses. You have to have that discerning silhouette feature.
Okay. Yeah, I think the glasses themselves are that. Like they're like particularly big, and it's like the first and last thing everybody notices.
Sure.
And they either reflect light or shine through depending on the scene, whatever
Oh sure. When you do the thing, they shine across. Of course. Yeah. Perfect. Beautiful. And you are going as Joanna?
Yeah. And I guess they're like tortoiseshell, something like that.
Sure. All right. Perfect. Okay. And then you head to book club. And you head to the library, and there's a couple people studying because it's the beginning of school still. Yeah, there's a big truck. That's okay. There's a big truck going by as you go by the library. It's the copier. It goes. It's just one of those really old ones. And you sort of like go to the to one of the back not alleys, rows. Yeah, there's a
Sure.
word for it. Back rows, and you know that you're supposed to meet someone here, um, and there's a girl like sort of like leaning up against like flipping through a book idly, and she's like, "Oh, yeah, so you the okay, here," and she's got like sort of like longer soft hair and like little reading glasses, and she's got like a sweater over her uniform, and she's like, "Go on in," and she pulls a big book out like a secret door, and like the panel slides up and slides over, and there are like stone steps leading down like a torch lit staircase, and like a bit of a cold draft comes up.
I, yeah, I just make that face,
Like,
that anime,
yeah.
face that's like the the mouth isn't huge, but like it's like a perfect circle.
Mhm. Absolutely. Um, and you head down the stairs. Just making a note. It takes you down a couple of floors, you think, as it winds down, and then it opens up into what would be like just another library, and there's kids chatting here, and it's more of a robust thing, and there's not just rows of books. There's like sealed jars with different colored stripes on them. There's a couple of side doors. There's big reams of paper. There's like this like massive printing press in like black iron and silver. Um, and it is people just sort of talking and gathering and chatting with each other. Um, what do you do? What would you do in a new situation?
Um, so I just like sort of walk around the room surveying, looking at everything with
Mhm.
uh, it's not just the glasses. My eyes are huge.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. When you take them off, they're just tiny.
Yeah.
My favorite cartoon trope. Um, yeah, people are. You kind of like peer in some of the side rooms, and they're actually like making paper of various things. But you realize as you look, they've like there's somebody like they summoned like a pixie, and they're like and then they like squish it between two panels, and then like sprinkle the paper over the sprinkle the pixie dust over the paper that they're making, and it like the water rainbow shimmers and like changes to a dark purple. Yeah.
I guess that's okay. That seems kind of mean.
um and there's a room where you're not allowed everywhere in the secret library, but yeah, people are just like sort of working. There's some faces that you recognize. They like wave and say hi, like, "Oh, I didn't know you were here." And there's a couple upperclassmen, and um like I think overseeing the pixie room where they're making paper is like a McGonagall style professor. Yeah, except probably younger, but elven, so you can't tell.
No.
Uh, yeah, yeah. So here you are in the book club.
Well, I guess
The world is your bookish oyster.
I've just been like gushing profusely the whole time. Just it's it's wonderful. But I guess I would gravitate towards where they're making the ink. Is that somewhere where I've got
Yeah,
some experience?
There's a room that's like a sort of like that, like you see people have to like they change their clothes completely before going in, and you think like they're upperclassmen, so they have permission to go into this room. But there's also like a large, oh no, it's like a touch aquarium, like a touch aquarium, where people are like getting creatures out to turn into ink. Yeah, you could go and make some inks. It's also, there's like a couple of different fire burners that are making different tones of charcoal. Yeah.
I think maybe Mitsuha's feeling quite full on practicality, so maybe she can just observe or learn at this point. I think she's quite happy with that.
Yeah. Yeah, you spend some time just watching people work, and give me an intelligence check to see if you pick up anything interesting or new.
Not so much.
Yeah, and there's a lot going on. It's sort of it's like going to the zoo as a kid. You're seeing a lot, and you're picking it up, and maybe it'll help you. It'll come back later. But for right now, you're just sort of like taking it all in, and you're asking a couple questions, and people are sort of telling you what it is. Like, oh, I didn't know you could do that, and yeah. So you're just enjoying the access to all these bookmaking materials.
And I think what I'm doing is kind of staying out of the way and looking around the shelves for any for anything, any book that I've like heard of is being really interesting, but have never had like access to.
Sure.
And eyeing that entrance to the back to like.
Oh yeah, the rooms you're not allowed into.
Yes.
Oh. Give me an investigation roll to see if you can't find an interesting book.
Not intimidation. Okay. Hey.
Yeah. So what do you find? It's mildly interesting. It's nothing like super rare, but it's maybe a book you heard of once, and you're like, you always wanted to read it, but it could never find a copy.
So yeah, like it's the lesser key of Abramelin, and it.
Okay. Could you spell that? The lesser key of. Abramelin. Yes.
And it talks about how to purify oneself to summon one's holy guardian angel.
Yeah.
But this is like sort of the outer college version of it, not the greater key that has like the all the nifty secrets.
This is like the Cliff Notes version of it, but it's got some drawings in it that the original one didn't have, so it had a different publisher for reasons.
Some of the subfrigura aren't completely correct, but you know it's still useful. Theory.
Yeah. And I think reading this, you realize that, purifying oneself isn't just about like physically, so like keeping your mind clear, and then you think about like the multi-legged carrot from earlier, and you're like, yeah, I see how that would.
Yeah. Baggage.
Yeah. Callbacks. Absolutely. I'm trying to think of something we could do in a half an hour. I think you guys spend like maybe 20 minutes or so sort of like looking for your book or looking at there's so many cute birds outside. Okay, so it's like hanging upside down. Okay.
Sure it's not a bat.
No, it's a bird.
Okay.
We don't have bats in Seattle.
Really?
not as often as I used to. So you, I think they you sort of like mill around, people get used to each other, and then there's a hard like clapboard, and they bring everyone sort of gathered up in that main room, and the teacher's like, yes, I have gathered you here to study and appreciate the creation, reclamation, and restoration of ancient texts and new important works of magical study. How exciting! Um, and so I just wanted to welcome you to the first meeting of the book club. And they don't do the quotation marks, but they say it like that. And we wanted to make sure that everyone was feeling comfortable and kind and were sure that this was exactly the kind of club they wanted to be in. And you don't have to decide today, but starting at the next meeting, we will be discussing most arcane practices, and it will be a lot of hard work, but I believe if you focus down, you will find it is very rewarding. And it's very exciting, and sometimes discovering an image in a book and clearing it off, it could be a revelation to magic world all over. And there's like a bit of like polite applause. Like, and also, you know that in this book club, you have a certain obligation to create a text work of your own of substantial magical significance. And although it is not a requirement that it be as groundbreaking as Merlin's Guide to Cacti, it will be important in its own small way to advancing the magical technologies of today and in the future. And if this seems, yeah, so, and there's like another polite applause, and it's like, please consider what your works of study will be. I know some of you have already begun to work on it, very forward thinking of you. And just let me know by the next time we gather what that may be. I look forward to your presentations. It will be very interesting. And don't forget, you can call on me at any time, as long as I'm not in studies, and look to each other to find out your strengths and build together. For a library is not a library with a single book. Thank you. And she bows. There's like a polite applause. Yeah. And then, yeah, that is their speech. So that is your task. By the next time, maybe the next time we play, whatever that will be. Or if you can think of something now that you think your character would be very interested in exploring or inventing or refining, you can let me know. But other than that, I think besides like having you roll randomly to make book stuff, that is the end of my adventures for today in the realms of magical girls.
Hooray!
Yay! So, thank you. That was awesome.
Mhm.
Yay! I'm glad it worked out.
Very cool.
So since I woke up at like a half hour before the game, and I read that Adam wouldn't be in, and I was like, oh, okay. And I kept thinking your Meatybones game was the Elf Crystal Meatybones game. And then just before this, I was looking at the character sheets, and I was like,
Wait.
oh, wait a second. So, yeah. Yeah, but luckily we did a lot of prep work the first game, so it was easy enough to go on. Thank you.
Just really nice showing up here and not having to be a monster for 4 hours, so that's nice. Nice.
Yeah. Thank you for helping me build the world now that it has ripe vines, blooming threshers, eldritch celery, creeping carrots, all that fun stuff.
Yeah.
It's gonna
I'm
be good.
particularly proud of Eldritch Celery. Of all the things I've pulled out of my arse over the years.
Yeah. It's
That's
pretty
top
cool.
shelf.
Yeah. I love it. Yeah, that's me. I'm done.
Well, actually, speaking of you,
Well,
I have heard that you do some cool things on the internet, and that you,
yeah.
yes, you might even
I
have
do
like
some stuff.
a Patreon and some
Oh,
stuff
right.
like that.
My links
Yeah.
are as follows: Twitter at Adaser, Adaser. Patreon at Jean_Adaser. I am currently doing RPG icons. I release a new batch for folks every month. I also have them for sale on Gumroad at Gumroad/Adaser. And after this wraps up, I will be starting my Magical Girl live stream at twitch.tv/theposhpanda with a small break to actually get food, because I haven't yet, because I had some gummy vitamins and that was it. Eat your foods, stay alive. Until next time. And I think, I'm also designing this game. It's called Meatybones the Me. It's a genre slottable RPG game for those who want to play different genres at different times and want a quick start game that requires literally no planning if you know enough about the genre that you're talking about. Because today I had maybe 20 minutes to think about it, and then I didn't because I was on the Animal Crossing app. Don't worry about it. It's important.
Well, I mean, that may have been, helpful and fed into it, so it's all
Yeah,
good.
few things.
Yeah.
Yeah. And there was a garden.
Yeah.
No, there wasn't.
We were there.
Don't think about it.
There's stuff.
I know about it.
And things. It was good.
Yeah.
Spook, do you have any shout-outs?
Yeah, I've got a shout out. This one's a little bit random, but I don't know if anyone's aware of like the loot box, digital gambling controversy thing that's going. But just on that note, I'd like to mention that in the UK, our progress on that was started because just one person, they wrote a letter to their member of parliament, and they were like, "Look, this is gambling, marketing at kids, and I don't like it." And so that guy then asked about it in Parliament, and now we're looking to pass some laws. So I know, it's easy to feel powerless and like you can't do anything, but you can just pop off an email on your phone to your local representative, and they can ask people about it. So you can make changes just by taking a little bit of time. So just stay strong, everyone, and big love all around.
Cool. Let me see. You can find me here at twitch.tv/RPGlory or mixer.com/RPGlory. You can find archives of all my stuff at YouTube/C/RPGlory, or you can tweet at me at RPGlory.DOTCOM. I'll be back tomorrow at 4 Pacific for I think. Oh, actually, I'm not. I think that we're going to do crunchy mecha stuff using Mechton. I think that's the plan. And then on Wednesday, we'll eventually actually play some more Monsters and Other Childish Things. I really want for that to happen.
Yeah. Hopefully.
Yes. And that's at 10 a.m. Pacific. And I'm also working on a game, The Eschaton, which is a transhumanist science fiction powered by the apocalypse hack, in which every player is the most influential person of their own organization. So it's got like this sort of macro thing of like moving of like epic government intrigue, as well as it being sort of fueled by people's personal foibles and stuff like that. Anyway, Dazer, thanks again for running. That was awesome.
Sure.
I love the
Anytime.
voices. That was super cool.
I wrote notes, so hopefully I can do them later. I definitely modeled the Fumiha after the Monsters Incorporated secretary that just clicked in with the glasses and the sweater
Totally.
and like kind of be like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that I've just now realized. I was like, this seems very familiar. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. It's
Very
fun.
cool.
I'm glad to.
So, thanks again, everybody. Bye.